How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? Not really over anything, but amidst those thoughts I have a feeling of great destiny or purpose that I need to fulfill, so I just hold on to that feeling in the hopes that one day I'll live up to it and I will be in a place of my life where I can be happy. Struggle is real, keep the struggle, friend. I think of suicide every day. I have for 30+ years. It used to rattle me. Now it's just background noise. When the thought comes to me, I don't let myself get tight inside, don't give it too much attention. I let it go like I would with a piece of trash blowing past on a windy day. Realizing that you are hurting the people involved in your life. I couldn't do that to my mom or my little brothers. Realizing the pain I would cause them would be infinitely worse than the pain I'm feeling now really drove me out of the rut. Therapy and medication. It was honestly just time. I still get them every once in a while, but they're never as bad as they always were. Time doesn't necessarily heal all wounds, but it certainly makes them less painful. The thoughts just sort of become less prominent the more you're able to have other thoughts. Just think about what might happen, and give yourself rewards in the future. When it got bad, I would buy a concert ticket or movie ticket for a month or so away, giving me some reason to stick around. Maybe give that a go, and hopefully eventually the thoughts will subside. It worked for me, good luck, smile. Realizing it was a permanent solution to what was more than likely a temporary problem was the start of it. Diet. Stay away from caffeine. Take magnesium, zinc, and D3. These three help with a lot more than you think. I didn't. These days I think it would be easier to just kill myself instead of facing my problems. But I don't do it, which is nice. Counseling. Lots and lots of counseling. I know this isn't an option for most people. I was lucky, my college offers free counseling to students. I also was open about it to a close friend and my parents, mostly my mom. That gave me a solid support base. It was a long, tough road, but I came out of it. I started attending church, but for any person, just think how many other lives you are ruining. It is a greedy thing to do. Just think about your parents, sibling, friends. For me it's mostly knowing that there's nothing but infinite blackness on the other side. It would just be stupid to do that. Like, sure life sucks, but I'd take it over unfathomable non-existence any day, lol. Bottom line is I had a nice life that checked most of the boxes and no reason to be miserable, but I was. But I was a feeling stuffer for many reasons I won't bore you with here. I lived most of my life like that and didn't accept/understand the possibility of living differently. I did it unconsciously for the most part, but you don't realize it builds, and getting older made it hard to manage. So I carried on stuffing my feelings, not realizing that the more I stuffed in my feelings the more numb I became, until I realized I was entertaining awful thoughts and pushing pins into my skin to feel anything. One day on the drive home from work I started veering over to crash head-on into a wall, and it felt like I couldn't stop myself, like I was possessed and frozen. I got really scared and managed to stop myself, but I realized that if I was going to commit suicide, then I was saying I was willing to leave everyone and everything I knew behind, and if I was willing to do that, why wouldn't I be willing to do the same while I was alive? Or at least give it a try. I came out to everyone over one long weekend. Everyone was mostly okay with it, and I felt the weight of the world lift off my shoulders. I sobbed and sobbed. No more thoughts of suicide. Stopped sitting around as much. Went out and did things, said yes instead of maybe, which always turned into a no. GF helped a lot. Went to therapy, learned some coping mechanisms. And church helped a lot for me. It gave me inner peace, I guess you could say. GL man. I don't have these thoughts anymore, but when I did, I thought about it like this. Think about the person you love most. If you kill yourself, I don't have these thoughts anymore, but when I did, I thought about it like this. Think about the person you love most. If you kill yourself, it will ruin them. They might fall into this thing that you are feeling. Don't let that happen to somebody. I admitted I needed help, and started taking medicine for it. Right now I'm on lithium, 1.2 grams a day. I was always against medicine, but this actually works for me. It took a long time to admit I needed outside help, and if it wasn't for my girlfriend pushing me to get help, I would be still struggling. Sort of like the other guy said. I gave up on ending my life, and instead putting an end to how I was living it. I was crippled and bound to, not even a wheelchair. I was stuck in a bed. One morning I just chose to get angry instead of sad, which prompted me to flop into the floor and drag myself out of my own slice of hell. I gave it a really good try and it didn't work. I had promised myself if this time didn't work I would stop trying and just live my life. I don't think of suicide anymore, but I very often think of not being alive anymore and how much better it would be than living in a world of slavery amongst slaves who enjoy slavery. So I don't have suicidal thoughts, but I do have thoughts of doing good things that could get me killed. They never go away completely, but one thing that can really help is getting a lot of exercise. Start doing martial arts, or powerlifting, something that makes you feel powerful, and do it a lot. There's a sense of powerlessness or hopelessness when suicidal, and doing something that is empowering really helps. Combine that with the mood-enhancing effects of exercise, and it can make a big difference. I'm willing to say that jiu-jitsu saved my life. Just do something. I stopped smoking weed 24/7 and moved away from the toxic environment. I thought about how sad my mom would be. The voices are just a dull roar now. Late to the party, but here goes my reply. Smile. I had severe depression when I started high school, 13 years old, which led to suicidal thoughts. To be honest, I never told anyone I had those thoughts, and I would cry daily. Eventually my mother got tired of seeing me so down and lost in myself that she took me to see a doctor. I broke in there and told her how I was feeling and how the thoughts wouldn't go away. Since then I've been on antidepressants and haven't had a single thought of killing myself. Been eating them for 10 years now and I can feel happiness again. Of course I get sad and low sometimes, but it does not reach the bottom with suicide thoughts. Quite simply, I have to be around to look after my goldfish. Got the 2 of them from the fair. They saved me as much as I saved them. Just separate yourself from all negative influences. They are dragging you down. Start a regular workout. It will boost your mood and self-esteem. Clean up your living space. It will clear your mind and you will feel comfortable. Spend a day to get all of your work done. If in school, spend a weekend. This will get rid of a lot of stress. Write down any other stressor you have on paper and figure out a solution for each one. This will relieve you a great deal. And most importantly, visit a therapist. If you are having suicidal thoughts, they are amazing at helping you through those times. Rage, spite, hatred. I know it's contrary to the prevailing philosophy, but whenever a suicidal thought enters my mind, I decide to keep on living because it's the purpose of evolution and life, to separate the weak from the strong. Even though the world seems against me, I'm not going to do the opposition's job for them and take myself out of their way. I'm not going to put myself in the category of too weak to survive. If reality wants me dead, fine. But it will have killed me itself. Until then, no matter what happens in life, if I draw breath, I'll keep drawing breath, if only to flip the middle finger at the opposition one more time. Whenever I had suicidal or down thoughts, I'd stop and think of 3 positive things for the day or a way to make the thought positive. After a while it became a habit and it completely changed my outlook on life. When I was about to go off to college, my mom told me about staying safe and avoiding overdoing drugs/alcohol because if she lost me, she would have nothing left. I don't know why, but I decided that from that day on, I constantly get depressed thoughts, that every time I started to feel bad, I would remember how me leaving this world would affect so many other people, including my family who I care about more than anything. It's good to put things in perspective from time to time. I'll probably end up rambling, so please excuse me. For me, when I get suicidal thoughts, I look for hope, using things that are meaningful to me. For example, I recently had some unpleasant thoughts, so I had a tarot reading to ultimately get hope for the future, but it did also help with my situation. I've had one before, hence, I know it works for me. I know not everyone believes in tarot cards and such, but I'm trying to say that it's not so much the tarot itself, but the hope it gave me. Basically, if you can find something to give you hope, to put a little bit of fuel in the tank, or a little bit of a flame to keep going, try it and use it to your advantage. You never know what might happen. I also find, taking a chance on things can help too. TLDR, find something to give you hope, whether it's a tarot reading, something you want to try, a place you've wanted to visit, etc. PS I'm not sure I worded this very well, so if anyone can't understand it, or needs me to clarify things, just PM me, and I'll see if I can put it into better words. Smile. I haven't. There's still a little voice in my head that urges me to end it every day. This is getting buried, but I've dealt with horrendous allergies my entire life and they frankly make me feel sick as hell. That combined with my parents who seem to put me down every now and then, plus arguing with each other, made me feel suicidal. Past 2 years or so, I've tried to kill myself, but something always brings me back. May it be my dog, this video game I want, or just a good day of rest. The chemicals subside. I've never told anyone around me about this, then again, they think I'm horrible due to religion or something. But something are bringing me down again. My dog died recently, my parents have been getting more distant, and games are losing appeal, music is getting repetitive and things are hurting in places they shouldn't. I just hope the people in this thread that are hurting search for help with some good people. You all matter so much more. This planet needs you all less than 3. I stopped taking my anxiety medicine, believe it or not. I was on a low dose of buspirone and even though it helped my anxiety for the most part, it slowly helped me develop severe depression. Now I wouldn't say it was the only factor but was definitely one.